This video will attempt to demonstrate the two-handed technique of knot tying. For that purpose, we have a cord which is marked black on one end and is white on the other end. Tying a knot is creating a series of loops. So notice that for a right-handed surgeon, the left hand holds the end of the suture, and the thumb and index finger create a loop of sorts. The thumb and the index finger of the left hand need to be free to create the loops as the tying process goes on. And the pinch of the thumb and the index finger go back and forth underneath the loop created by the suture itself. So this is how the left hand grasps the suture. Notice that the black end is towards the person tying the knot, and he has created a loop. Now the pinch between the thumb and index finger are created by passing the thumb underneath the loop of the suture and doing a pinch motion. Then you notice that the right hand was not even involved as the suture is pinched and passed under the loop. Now the right hand gets involved again and grasps the black cord and tightens the knot. Now another loop is going to be created. Notice that the left hand, the thumb goes under the white suture, the black suture comes over, creates another loop, and the index finger in the pinch is brought through the loop to the opposite side, in this case towards the tying individual. To lay the square knot, we will demonstrate that this is a square knot for the purpose of tying. Just to go over the process one more time, we cross our suture to begin with, and notice that the colored end is on the right hand. We start creating a pinch by passing the thumb, in this case, and feeding the black end of the suture. Always the black end is fed into the pinch. We pinch and bring the end of the suture across the loop. Notice that the right hand now has no suture in it. Now it finally grasps and ties down. So we did the thumb before. Now I'm showing how we hold with the left hand. Now we create a loop and the pinch using the index. Now we create the loop, we pinch the index, bring the pinch through the loop, feed, in this case, the black end of the suture to create a square knot. Now it's the thumb's turn again. Goes under the white suture, a loop is created with the black suture, the thumb is on the other side, it's pinched with the index finger, and the pinch is swung to the other side, grasps the black end of the suture, and brings it through the loop. So it's thumb, index finger, thumb, index finger, thumb, index finger that goes under the loop and pinches the suture. You create the pinch, bring it through the loop, expose it, feed the end of the suture. Now we will look at it from the surgeon's standpoint. The black suture starts on the left but crosses over, and a loop is made, and the pinch is brought through, this time with the index. Notice that it's the black suture that goes through the loop and is tied down. Now the thumb is going to create the pinch as it goes under. The loop is created. The pinch goes through the loop and receives the black end of the suture and brings it through, and it's tied down, creating a square knot. Just to repeat, we will show the entire process again. A loop is created. The index finger goes under the loop, creates a pinch. The pinch is brought to the other side of the loop. The black end, in this case, is fed through the loop, and the loop is cinched down. Now a new loop will be made, but now the thumb goes under the white suture. The loop is created, the pinch is made and brought through the loop and receives the black end of the suture. And this entire process is repeated. And 4 times is usually enough to create a secure knot in the tissue. Now I will do a surgeon's double knot, which basically repeats the motion twice and brings the black end of the suture through the loop in the same direction twice. The pinch goes through, the thumb comes under, the suture is fed through, the thumb comes under again, the suture is fed into the pinch and it comes through in the same direction. So that's a double slip knot to create friction. Then the closing suture motion would be done to create the square knot. Now we will discuss the one-handed knot. Once again, this is looked at from the perspective of a right-handed surgeon. We begin with the sutures crossed, with the black suture towards the surgeon. Notice that here 3 fingers of the right hand create a loop. The left hand is more passive. The middle finger is passed through the loop and slips under the black strand and pulls it through. Next, the index finger will create a loop with the white strand, and then the index finger will slip under the white strand and grasp the end of the suture. The right hand doesn't let go of the suture until the index finger has a pretty good loop that passes it through the larger loop created by the white strand. Once again, 3 fingers create a loop with the white strand, grasp as well as can be with the middle finger, the black strand, and bring it through the white loop. Now the index creates a loop with the white strand and pulls it through. This is probably the more difficult part of the suture technique. These are all square knots that have been made. Visualizing the process from the opposite direction facing the surgeon, we notice that the right hand starts creating the loop together with the left hand strand. The middle finger grasps the suture and brings it through the loop. Now the index finger creates a loop and kind of fishes the black suture through the loop. 3 fingers, middle finger grasps the black strand and pulls it through the created loop. Next is the index finger creating a loop and gingerly grasping the end of the suture. And one last look from a yet different angle. Notice that the right hand creates a loop with the 3 fingers. The middle finger reaches underneath, grasps the black strand, pulls it through, and the knot is cinched down. Now the index finger creates a loop, pulls the black strand through. A little trickier than the first part. What you would need to do a procedure would be minimum is this. Everything else is extra. You might need a hemostat, usually not, but certainly a needle holder. It's a little dirty, but we just used it. A knife, this is a 15 blade. And this is a pair of suture scissors. These are iris scissors. They're usually used for dissecting. We discourage using it to cut suture. It's not the end of the world, but keep that in mind. Forceps are indispensable for grasping tissue, and they come in 2 forms, with teeth and without teeth. Okay, so this is gloving. This part can be touched. It's going to be touching the hand of the surgeon. So we grasp this side, we put our hand in here, the thumb is up, glove up like this, grasp the back and pull it down. Now with this being sterile, you can touch the sterile part of the glove on the opposite hand. Try and open it up. This is a challenge sometimes. Okay. Alright, so that's sterile gloving. So there's some improper ways to hold instruments. This is one of them. This holding manner is for trying to go and stab somebody. Okay, we're trying to grasp things. So this is the proper way. Okay. Now, when God made these instruments, He made them so that these fingers would not be used for this purpose, because you don't have control. So you put your ring finger here, and then these 2 fingers hold on to the instrument and guide it. Same holds for anything that has the finger holes. These are the fingers that are supposed to be used. Alright? Alright. Now, needles that are supposed to be grasped by needle holders. The proper way is this. And what's proper about it? Usually it should be about 1/3 of the needle on this side, 2/3 of the needle on that side. I've seen people put a needle holder right in the middle. That wastes the turn. I've seen people hold the needle like this, with this much of the needle holder outside of the holding the needle. No, this is a refined procedure. It should be right on the tip. I don't know if you're able to see that. Okay, so this is proper. You may not have a needle holder in your kit. A hemostat can be used. I don't recommend it, but as a last resort. Hemostats are mostly used to hold 2 pieces or ends of suture together, something like that. But I've seen cases where the kits of instruments that you get lack a needle holder, so you have to use this as a last resort.
Okay.
I'm gonna prep this
Okay.
a little antiseptic.
Perfect.
This is the owie part, and I apologize about that.
I told you not to hurt me.
Okay, here we go. Ouchie. That burns and stings, but it gets real numb pretty fast. Pretty fast.
Doing great.
Good. I'm gonna paint a little prep. It's a little orange. I'm gonna go all around your arm. I'm gonna lift your arm and ask you in a second to keep it up in the air for me.
Oh, that's a good look.
Okay. All right, keep your arm up for me. This one underneath. Go ahead and put your arm down. Yeah, perfect. All right, if you don't mind, let's bend a little bit. Perfect. Okay.
Like Canyon Crest by UCR.
All right, yeah, I lived there for many years.
We just live a few blocks from UCR.
So we had a pre-made fenestrated drape, but it's very easy to make your own. You probably will have these paper drapes, and all you have to do is fold it in half and then fold it again in a quarter like this, and just make a simple cut in the corner depending on the size you want. And when you open it, you have a fenestrated drape that could be used just like that. That's for demonstration only. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna stick this on your leg. This is a grounding pad for the carding machine, okay?
For the what?
The
No,
How about this one?
no,
How about this one?
no,
And one last one.
no.
Okey-dokey. We'll get started then. This is mainly for family medicine to learn how to do minor procedures.
Cause now it seems like it takes forever to get appointments because they're so booked up.
Mm-hmm.
Cause there's not enough, and my brother, he comes here too, and he said, his doctor said because they can't get enough people to work.
Any travels coming up this year? No cruise?
No, I don't like cruises myself. I'm one of those weird people.
No, I'm with you.
I've been on one and that was fun, was enough.
Something about being stuck in the middle
Yeah,
of the
just like, I
ocean.
don't like that being trapped in one place for.
too much time.
With
Yeah.
4,000 other people?
Yeah.
Exactly. I said when you don't like big crowds to go to certain things because it's too many people, well,
People like that.
that's why a couple of the ladies, well, let's all go, oh, let's go on a cruise. I said, okay, go ahead. Leave me out. No desire. He did a lot of cooking
That's good.
because he retired several years before I did, and he did all the cooking then. But he wouldn't clean up his mess, but he did the cooking.
He's like, I did one part.
Yeah, he says, I did the cooking, so you clean up. You know, clean it, I clean up. But he was a good cook.
What was your favorite dish he made?
Oh, he made all kinds of stuff. He made this, what we call kind of a smoky legs.
Yeah.
Cut them up and put it in it, and a hamburger, and
Okay.
about 4 different kinds of beans in it.
That sounds really good, actually.
Oh, it's delicious. That and cornbread.
Ooh.
That was our winter dish.
Love cornbread.
And then he made this potato soup that was really good.
When it's all closed, we're going to make a dressing made out of skin glue. Stick around for a week to 2 weeks, and then it'll peel off like sunburned skin. And in and of itself, it actually acts as a dressing, so you probably don't need to put any additional dressings on. How are you doing so far?
Good.
The most fun you've had all day, admit it.
Yeah, this is the best part of the day.
The golf course used to have a bunch of ducks. And I used to take my daughter when she was only like 3 or 4, and we took a stool because she was a little bit afraid of the ducks, and we took a bunch of old bread and would feed.
I have 2 neighbors that
Uh-huh.
they take their little golf carts and they go down the street and go up to the golf course. They're that close that they can take their little golf
Their own
carts.
carts, yeah.
Yeah, they ride up to the golf
Must be a
course.
blast.
I love that shopping center up there, though. There's anything that you need to have done is up there.
Yeah, I remember that.
We live there.
send you the results of what the lab tells us.
Okay, yeah, it's I have a tablet and they send me messages on it.
Okay.
The paperwork, I'm just gonna stay right here.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I do this once a week.
That's enough, huh? How long have you been working here?
It's gonna be 2 years.
But even that sort of evolved over the 28 years that I
Mm-hmm.
worked. We used to have course at night, so they would be here and we would go home, but then if there was a case to do, we would come in.
Mm.
So this is Exafin glue.
Thank you. Fix your pan. There you go.
Once it's done, it's almost there. I'll show the. Okay, this is the outer dressing. Looks like saran wrap. Keep this on until Monday. We use two types of suture here. This is the barbed V-lock. Has a loop on the end. This one I did not tie. This is for the deeper sutures. 3/0 monofilament synthetic absorbable suture.